Gene.
They cut it short.
Gene, I saw you studying that kiss, Gene.
Well, that was a mild one compared to some of the
Well, it went on for another 5 minutes after that. They just cut it.
It's not the kissing, it's the rolling around that
Aaron, you had a question.
Hi. I just wanted to know what it was like to work with Dolly Parton.
Oh, she was a doll. Unfortunately, it was just that one day that she came in and worked with her. She was just sweet. I just can't get how tiny she is.
She is really tiny, like 5 feet tall?
She had on 6-inch heels in that scene. I was wearing bedroom slippers, and I still felt like, you know, she was hit me about here.
I would like to know what is happening with Delta Bird, and will she remain on the show?
I hope so. It's been unfortunate, you know, there have been hard feelings. I think that everybody will cool down by this spring when those kinds of decisions are made about next year. But I know Delta would like to stay on the show, and I have hopes that she will. She's such an important part of the show, I don't see how we could do without her.
Has any of that been blown out of proportion by the press?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
that's their job.
Yeah, is that our job?
Do you know what, Gene, I haven't, and I guess this is just a straightforward question from a female to female. Has all the talk about her weight gain and weight loss and all of that worn on her? I mean, it seems to me that it's just been kind of unmerciful, kind of like it's been with Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, I think that it's been devastating. Well, how couldn't it not be?
Yeah.
I mean,
she always seems so up and so feisty.
I think she's finally gotten to a point where she's okay about it, and she knows she's beautiful, and she knows it's funny. I mean, what more do they want, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Daryl, you had a question.
Yeah, I would like to ask Richard, how much of a strain is it on your relationship with your busy schedule, wife?
Well, actually, you know, the schedule that they have on the show is really, I think, one of the best schedules in television because first of all, this is their 5th year, and they really have that show together now. I mean, they know these characters inside out. They've lived them now. And I don't get to spend as much time on that as I used to because of our little boy. But, you know, we try to get away as much as possible. That's one reason we're doing this play together, because it gives us a chance to work together and also kind of have a working vacation, and all 3 of us are up here, so.
You talk about your little boy. This is, what, the first Christmas you're going to have with. His name is Connor?
Well, he was 2 months old last Christmas. But
oh, he was?
Yeah.
I thought this was the first Christmas you were having with him, but it's number 2.
Yeah.
First Christmas on his feet.
For Christmas, and he'll really be aware of things like, you know, Santa and presents under the tree and stuff like that. Tammy, you had a question.
I was wondering, is there any competition between you and your co-stars presenting women?
Oh, boy, you know, you'd think there would be, but there really doesn't seem to be, which people don't ever believe, or, you know. No, we just, and I don't know why. I think maybe it's because all 4 of us are very different, so we don't see each other as competition, maybe. I don't know. We, you know, I've never worked on a show where there's less of that. We'll walk up to each other and we'll say, you know, I bet that would work better if, you know, you did this. Or we'll say to each other, we'll say, and what am I doing? That joke isn't working. What am I supposed to do? Or we'll say, you know, your hair really looked better last week if you just, you know, nobody has any ego about it, which is nice.
A real ensemble.
Yeah.
It is great writing on the show. You've got some good lines to deliver. Yes.
I wanted to know what happened to your knee, Charlene.
Oh, thank you.
For those of you at home, it looks like you have an ace bandage around your knee.
Yes. The makeup man was thrilled. He said, oh, what a nice fashion statement. I heard it swimming, of all things. And it's been about 4 months, and it's getting a little bit better, but it's hard because the play that we're doing is, some of it's physical, and I have to take it easy a little bit.
Now you're in town doing It Had to Be You. Have you done this play before? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Well, we did it actually, the first time we were engaged to be married. It was 2 months before we got married in 1987. And we did it as part of a theater festival in Santa Barbara, California. And we put it together in about 10 days. It was last minute, and with our schedules, and it's a 2-character play, so we were running lines while we were shaving or washing dishes. Shaving. I was shaving. Well, and washing dishes at the same time. It was, but so then it kind of took off. We enjoyed. It's a perfect couple play. It's like love letters in a sense. This is sort of the angst love letters. This is more like Fatal Attraction gone mad. It's like a comic Fatal Attraction in a way, really, the play.
That was how it was described by one of the reviewers in Dallas who saw us do it. He said it was a comic Fatal Attraction, which is really a great description because it is very funny.
So we get to legally insult each other on stage a lot. It's terrific.
Do you critique each other when you come off? Or is that dangerous territory?
Never has
Kind of
been for
dangerous,
us.
yeah, I
but-
think.
I mean, I don't think we've ever gotten on the
We'll make
verge
a few
of...
suggestions, or, you know.
Like your hair looked better last night or something like that.
Yeah. You never upstage each other, though, do you?
No, we didn't have any
Well,
problem
this
with
play is going to be at Marines Memorial here in San Francisco. We'll give you information at the end of the show of times and dates and all that type thing. When we come back from this commercial break, we're going to meet a single woman who has adopted a child and will not receive the child until Christmas Eve, but yet we're going to meet both of them this morning on People Are Talking. It's confusing, but we'll straighten it out in only a moment. Stay tuned.
Well, we're going to have some very wonderful, heartwarming reunions this morning. One of them is going to be with Deidre Franczak and her brand new baby. This is going to be a very special Christmas for you. Explain why.
Well, I've been working on adopting a child for about the last 3 years, and about 3 weeks ago I got a phone call saying that there was a little boy that was waiting and available, and I'll have him right around Christmas Day.
You are single.
I'm single.
And there was a point in time, I guess about 3 years ago, that you realized something's missing in my life.
That's right. I really, I saw that I really was committed to having a family, and that was a priority for me, and I didn't want to wait any longer. And I have a friend who is single, who's adopted successfully, so I knew it was possible, and I set about pursuing that.
Was it difficult, though, we hear about the various landmines for couples trying to adopt, but I would think it would be even more difficult for a single woman.
It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
I think what the drawbacks were for me was the temptation to not persist. I had some opportunities that failed, and that was discouraging, and I found that a lot of times when couples are choosing a parent for their baby privately, for example, they'll look for a couple. So it took a long time, and I'm glad I've hung in.
So you met Matthew for the first time last month.
That's right, at the very end of the month.
Had you met any children before that?
I had met one infant, newborn infant, last summer, and that adoption failed. So that was a setback. And then I met Matthew, and it didn't make any difference.
Did you know the birth mother? Does Matthew's birth mother?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
So you're not going through that whole process of
No.
maybe she'll keep him, maybe she won't, which
No,
is heartbreaking,
no.
I know.
No, I'm going through the Contra Costa County, and they're wonderfully supportive. And it's a very clean, straight process. So a lot of the questions and a lot of the potential heartaches, I think, have been already handled.
What are you going to offer this little boy?
A lot of love, a lot of friends, hopefully a lot of family, and I hope a lot of opportunities to participate in my life and the things that I'm committed to.
And you're going to be a full-time mom as of?
Well, I'll be a full-time mom as of the end of this month, I hope, and I'll be working at home. I'm a writer, and I'll be continuing.
Well, we're going to bring Matthew in a little later in the program so you can see your new son. Linda Hoffman, also with us. You are spending, is this your first Christmas with your two children?
Yes, it is.
That you adopted?
Yes.
Tell us where you found your two children.
Well, we found our two children in a small village called Aracaju in the state of Sergipe in the country of Brazil. And our story began when my husband and I came across an article that spoke of international adoption, and all of a sudden a light came on and we knew it was right for us. And
Had you tried to have children?
I can have children. We have a biological son, but there are many ways to have children, and this was a choice that we made.
So you found these two boys in this village. Most
Well,
people are saying, how in the world Brazil? How in the world this tiny village?
We began with an extremely helpful agency down in Cupertino, Bay Area Adoption.
Who are we looking at right now? Is this...
This is Elliot.
Elliot.
This is our baby.
And then do we have a picture of...
This is Samuel.
There he is.
And
Oh, Samuel is right. Well, let's see. We'll see Samuel in person. Smile, Sam.
There you
Smile.
go.
There you go. All right.
Now, where were these two little boys in this village when you found them?
They were found under a bridge. They had been abandoned, and...
So they were without parents altogether?
Yes.
They could have starved.
The authorities came and did bring them to the Juizada de Menores, which is where they bring children. It's really not a facility set up for children, but it's where they kind of stay until they're able to find parents.
So this facility you went to, that's where you picked up the 2 boys. Did you ever see the small town they had lived in? You went to the town and all?
We went there.
Did you meet any family at all?
Well, when we went down, I was extremely up to meeting them, but they dissuaded us. They felt very uncomfortable about that. And I wanted to meet them and just to have any kind of information available if they ever wanted to know.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to meet a brother and a sister who I believe only met last week after 25 years for the first time. We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Is that something?
Laura Williams and Raymond Hudson are also with us this morning as we bring people back together on this Thursday morning. Brother and sister.
Yes.
And you were separated how long ago?
25 years ago, this Christmas. My mom was killed in an automobile accident, and all 8 of us were separated. And this is a real emotional time. And this is the first time in 25 years I've seen him. I picked him up last week. You had a show on, and you were talking about depression in the holidays, and I was overjoyed. You know, for once my depression was turned into joy. And he's
How did you find him?
My sister knew somebody, and we traced him with a Social Security number. His name had been changed. I had no idea. The people that adopted him were my relatives, and they changed his name. So we tracked him down to his Social Security number and a phone number.
What did you think when she first contacted you?
I didn't believe it, you know. Blank. Yeah, it was a real weird feeling.
Where were you?
But you trusted that it was correct.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke at first. You know.
What did you two think when you saw each other for the first time? I mean, flesh and blood looking at each other.
I didn't recognize him when I went to get him. I didn't know what my brother looked like, you know.
How old were you when you were separated?
I was 12, and he was 4.
4? Oh, of course you look a little different.
Where were you, Raymond?
I was in L.A. at the time, but I moved to Ohio from Boston. We were separated.
So, did you fly up to meet your sister?
No, I took a bus.
So how did she know who you were when you got...
We didn't, you know, he came a couple times.
You just hugged a lot of people until he said, yeah, I'm Raymond.
I went to get him, and I couldn't find him, and I said to the lady, my brother was on this bus, and there was 3 men sitting up there, and none of them looked like my brother. And so I got back in the car, and I drove home, and he called me, and he said, I'm here. And I said, well, I was just there, and I went back, and he was one of the guys that was sitting up there.
So your mom was killed during the Christmas holiday?
She was killed Christmas Eve.
So Christmas has always been for you a sad time.
We just found my other brother for the first time 6 weeks ago, my baby brother who was in diapers. He's happy. He's in Boston, and he's doing well, and he's very excited. And hopefully this year we're going to have a family. I have 5 other brothers, and I have a sister.
Well, we understand him, and there is another sister that you haven't seen in 25 years.
Right.
Paula Smithson.
Yes.
You have seen Paula, Laura?
Yes.
But Raymond has not seen Paula.
No, he hasn't seen her yet. We're waiting for Christmas.
Do you know when you're going to see Paula, Raymond?
I'll see you around Christmas time.
Around Christmas. Why don't we make it a little earlier? Paula's
oh, my God!
Here's Paula Smithson, your sister you haven't seen in 25 years. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Stay tuned.